I wish I had better news. Actually, it is good news if you like the idea that jobs are being created in our economy. But
Hey there, everyone. Dave Barlow here with the gang from Sell for 1%. Actually, two of us from Sell for 1% and one from Equity Finance. That's wrong, isn't it, Rich? Good Lord.
Equitable Mortgage. That's
Equitable
okay.
Mortgage. I had finance stuck in my head there. Equitable Mortgage. And it's Friday morning, so this is a special edition of our market update. We normally try to do these on Thursdays, but the jobs report was due out today, June 7th. And by the way, our missing personality, Jaysen, birthday today. And so he's sleeping in. He's taking the morning, which is fine. No, I just talked to him. He was just coming out of the shower.
Privilege.
It is. Everybody's got to have a birthday. So, Rich, tell us what's happening with the jobs report and what you expect that to impact the mortgage rates.
I personally stopped having birthdays about 20 years ago or so. But back to the employment numbers. I wish I had better news. Actually, it is good news if you like the idea that jobs are being created in our economy. But it is not good news if you want lower interest rates, because we had a strong jobs number this morning, 272,000 new jobs created. The expectation from the market was about 190. That's a pretty significant higher number than what they were hoping for. It does impact what the Fed may do looking forward. And the talk I'm hearing on the TV this morning is they don't know when there's going to be another Fed rate cut. And, again, the mortgage market looks to a future rate cut as a positive development, even if it hasn't happened yet. And we have nothing like that in sight. So I think we're pretty much in a holding pattern as we move through the summer of rates in the high sixes, probably more like low sevens now on a 30-year fix. The 15-year fix is almost the same number. There really isn't much of a advantage to go on a 15-year fix. The ARM products also were jammed into that 7% range. So everything is 7%-ish right now. And that's what everybody has to get used to. It's the new normal, I guess.
So it's interesting. I mean, it used to be, 30-year was, for example, 7%. 15-year was normally a point and a quarter lower. So it was at 6%.
About a point lower, usually. You can count on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was about 6%. And then the ARMs were like,
that used to be the case.
And so, but they're all stuck at right around 7%.
Right. And they're all stuck. Yeah. Part of the reason is that the treasury yields are inverted. So the short-term yields normally are lower, and then the yields go up as you go into a longer-term yield. However, we have it flip-flop now where the shorter-term yields on the treasury bonds are actually higher than the longer-term yields, because people feel like, well, in the short term, the Fed's not going to lower rates, so the shorter terms are higher. Yeah, but in the long term, they see a rate decrease somewhere down the road, so the longer-term yields are a little bit lower. The better deal, and right now, if you were investing, would be on a shorter-term yield. Because of that, the shorter-term mortgage products are derived from those short yields, and therefore we have a constriction of everything right now. There's probably more to it than that. That's sort of an oversimplification. There's a lot of politics going into this. Remember that Fannie and Freddie are now owned solely by the U.S. government. And so us conspiracy theorists out there can think that there is some manipulation in that product and what they deliver to the public right now, and they're almost like it's almost more like FHA now. It's more patronizing. It's more, we got to take care of the people who really don't know how to take care of themselves, kind of thing. We don't want to put them in an ARM. We don't want to put them in a mortgage that's a shorter term mortgage that might get them in trouble. It's that kind of thing, and that kind of thinking, I believe, is also pervasive right now.
But here recently, the FHA rate has been about a half point cheaper. Is that, close?
That is correct. The FHA and VA rates have been quite a bit better than the conventional rates. And remember, I've told you that conventional rates on a loan under $200,000 are a much better rate than a conventional rate on the loan that's $600,000 or $700,000. That's just the nature of the beast. That's what Fannie and Freddie are pumping out there. Again, they are arms of the government at this point, and the government feels they want the lower price mortgages for people who are maybe entry level buyers to be a better rate than us rich folks that want to buy a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 home. That's the thinking right now. Whether it's correct or not, that's how they're thinking.
But once you throw back in
all of our contacts in the secondary market,
once you throw back in the PMI that FHA throws on you, you're getting back close to what the conventional rate is.
Correct. The PMI is mandatory on an FHA loan, and it's well, if you're over 90% loan to value, it's mandatory, and it's 30 years. It never goes away. If you're under 90% loan to value, it's a little lower priced, and it goes away after 11 years. So, so that's the other. There's no free lunch out here, and so you are correct that you do have a higher PMI rate. But if you're an FHA type buyer who maybe doesn't have perfect credit, maybe you've got like a 680 or 690 credit score, the PMI on a conventional mortgage is very similar to what the PMI is on an FHA, maybe even higher. So
okay.
The FHA does come into play as being a better deal sometimes. It's all case by case. It used to be so easy. I've been in the business a long time. It used to just be there was one rate, one PMI. Everything was all uniformed, and you could just quote somebody something. Now you need all this data, and you need a complete file setup to really give an accurate rate quote and PMI quote to people now.
So would you say it's fair to say that since the government's got involved in all this stuff, that it's become more complicated?
It has definitely become more complicated. I don't think that's being political to say something like that. The government is, everyone on both sides of the political spectrum would tell you that the government is awash in red tape, and they now have mortgages awash in red tape. And they do it with seemingly, benevolent type
good intentions
reasons. However, it's still nonetheless, the intentions are there, but it nonetheless is very complicating and confusing to people these days.
So, Rich,
it's easy for a mortgage lender to make a mistake.
Right. Well, all of us. What do you see with rates here this morning after the jobs report? Are they fluctuating any?
Rates have not come out yet. Rates usually come out around 10 a.m. after these numbers hit. But the mortgage-backed securities are the thing that we're watching always. The mortgage-backed securities are having a bad day. The last I saw, we were plus 1830 seconds on the mortgage-backed securities, meaning the rates are going up today. So I expect we're going to solidly be in the sevens on most mortgages this morning. The FHAs, again, maybe in the high sixes, and at 100,000 to 200,000 conventional, maybe in the high sixes still. We're going to be solidly in the 7.25, 7.5 range, depending on your circumstances.
All right. Well, if you're looking to buy, looking to sell, need a mortgage, this is your team right here. Listing, Jamie, I think you're on the bottom. Selling, buying, and then Rich this way. The mortgage guy. And so a ton of experience sitting right here. Names and numbers are here on the screen. If you like this information, like and subscribe and click that notification bell. We like to try to keep you updated at least once a week with what's happening in the marketplace. Your friends here at Sell for 1% and Equitable Mortgage with Rich Cohn.
Good job, Dave.
How about that? All right, guys, until next week, have yourself a great weekend. We're going to be celebrating a birthday tonight at Northwest Swim Club. So yours truly will be doing 2.5s off the height. How about that? Maybe a cannonball.
I will be there in my Speedo.
Like on the French Riviera. There you go. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.